So welcome to the virtual garden tour. We're going to start at the back door and work our way around the side of the house. There's Trey's rose bush I got in Florida a couple years back. It's a pretty corally, peachy orange color. Here we have a hellebore with a fabulous leaf. Here's my buddy Herb Roberts geranium. There's Japanese forest grass. Some lily of the valley. There's cast iron plant. A few hellebores around. There's some daylilies and bellflower and bamboo from last year. Here's my favorite cat statue I got for my birthday a couple years ago. A Japanese maple and a dwarf mugo pine. A hardy geranium. There's my bee sign that Gina gave me. Oh, here's Trey's peony that's getting ready to bloom. It's going to have huge blooms this year. Bird bath, the birds really like. Here's a patch of ajuga. Funny story, I just set the pot out last spring thinking this is where I was going to plant it, and then it rained and some things happened and all of a sudden it's grown over the edge and out of the pot. So back in the fall I just cut the center pot out and here we are, and I still have the pots I need to plant. There's some hardy cyclamen tucked under there. There's the leaf you can see sticking out. There's fringe leaf bleeding hearts. Fern leaf, some people call it. This little hydrangea. It has fabulous blooms. It's not a limelight. It has a white flower. It stays small. Pulmonaria. It's been really pretty. Here's some tiger lilies. Some more bleeding heart hellebores. There's a pink epimedium. It's almost at the end of bloom. And it's columbine, snowdrop anemone, and celadon poppies, regular bleeding heart. Here's the pots of violas the deer mowed off the other week. I had some flowering cabbage from back in the fall in this pot, and they bolted last week. There's Buddha. There's some friends I found in the forest last year. I put them in a plastic juice jug and filled it with cement, hoping that keeps the bottom from rotting as much. Trey's Colorado blue spruce. There's the Cleveland blue deodora, really small. And there's crimson queen, Japanese maple. This patch of hellebore over here when we moved in. There's Trey's quince, double take orange storm, almost finished blooming. Some bloodroot, rhodia. Here's the lily of the valley. Trey posted a picture of it the other day. Small daphne. There's, I guess, that bleeding heart. I planted some seed of lunaria, money plant, that will bloom next year. There's purple trillium that's bloomed off. There's a little root anemone hiding in front of this patch of bloodroot. It's bloomed off. Hardy geranium. This little limey color one is just coming back out. And here we are at the corner of the house, a little area beside the patio. Right now is a little mini nursery. There's a little white epimedium. This really sweet little variegated hosta planted here. Hopefully Bambi doesn't find it like the other ones on the other side. A little veronica, catmint, some Virginia bluebells. You can see it's bloomed off. There's a columbine black barlow and the native columbine. A couple of hellebores hiding in there. This is actually 3 clematis, 3 different ones. It's a little bowl garden. Get a little bit of interest. Here is a new white rose, climbing rose, Claire Austin. Actually, you're supposed to tolerate left side, although it'll get some sun here on this arbor. Artemisia. This is the daylily patch. There's the black barlow, columbine, some hyssop. Hydrangea is one of the few things that's original. Here's a patch of aster, fall blooming aster. Here's my hardy orange tree, flying dragon. Some fireworks, goldenrod, osmanthus, Etopiones. There's the little garden where the dwarf iris were blooming last week. There's one purple one, still blooming. There's oregano and rosemary and these Edo peonies I got in a box at Lowe's 2 years ago. And this one is going to have 3 blooms. And this one is going to have 3 blooms. There's some oriental lilies, white butterfly ginger lily popping out. Here's the wallflower that's eating the sidewalk, along with some creeping phlox. And this bright limey color oregano. There's a little Sasanqua camellia, a little holly that was here that I cloud clipped. Another greenhouse. Here's the Austrian black pine I got for my birthday last year. Peonies, iris. This one is peach color. There's a Caryopteris my friend Janelle gave me. It was really nice cover of blue blooms most of the summer, and the bees just go crazy. Some pots I need to plant. There's black and blue salvia coming back, some Casablanca lilies, more iris I rescued from Asheville years ago. This columbine that's quite prolific in its spread. These are all last year's seedlings. Here's the bronze fennel, some veronica, lamium, catnip, Japanese maple. Across the way from this side, another little dwarf mugo, and this beautiful columbine that's quite reseedy. If anybody needs seed, I'll save you some. There's a little white spring flux I found last year, mini pearl. There's some bee balm. There's oh, what's your name? Brugmansia, thank you. There's some lady bells. They're quite beautiful, but I like to call them hazy bells. I looked them up the other day. They're in the Campanula family, and it says quite the dainty name for a plant that can be so invasive. I have to agree with that. Some fall aster, another Caryopteris. There's a dwarf hinoki. There's a wood poppy back there. Peony. Ginger. Herb, you're my buddy. A few ferns sprinkled in. There's that columbine. These look shrub size. There's a sedge I like a lot. Sweet flag has a nice scent to it. Japanese painted fern, autumn fern, more of my friendly columbine. This is a little ground cover sweet box. Himalayan sweet box has a really sweet little white flower in the spring. There's Father Gilla that I posted pictures of. Yes, columbine again. Holly fern, hydrangea, nandinas. There's a viburnum spice baby. There's a baby Black Barlow columbine getting ready to bloom. This is just reseeded from last year. Rose campion coming out. Here's Trey's flame azalea. You might notice the bird netting, keep Bambi from chewing it. Dwarf Burford. Black dragon cryptomeria. Yes, another bad habit of mine. Peonies we brought from Mom's in Morganton. There's a Swainett sunflower back there. Hydrangea. Some more Black Barlows that I have reseeded in here. A couple of daylilies. Some daffodils that have bloomed off. Here's Black-Eyed Susan. Carolina climbing aster. There's Osmanthus gushiki. There's a Georgia aster, peonies. Another one of those white mini pearl phlox. Some coreopsis. Peonies. The spirea was here when we moved in, and so were these guys. The first one is mock orange, and the other two are deutzia. And yes, they're as big as the side of the house. Here's the side garden. Those big viburnums I posted pictures of. Starting to rain, so I might have to rush this along. A peony popping out. Roses in their bamboo cages. Here are some lovely clary sage. I can't wait for these to bloom. Daylily, peony. Here's trace Spanish lavender. Butterfly bushes, elderberry bush. It's upright hinoki, peony. Here's an aromatic aster against St. John's wort, backed by Jacob Klein bee balm. There's Shasta Daisy Becky. And there's Trey's witch hazel. There's a new spot I put in last year. A dwarf hinoki and some variegated ivy. This emerald spreader, Japanese yew. I love that form. Some drift rose, some trace daylily seedlings. There's a few little odds and ends. There's lemony lace elderberry. It's a little small purple crepe myrtle. There's a lot of new young stuff in here. This is a new favorite of mine, little coralberry. I just love the way that foliage drapes. Some spring phlox and iris on the far side. Scabiosa. There's a foxglove. May bloom, hopefully. There's a sweet little shrub, Deutzia. Some Virginia bluebells. And more columbine. And here's Sweet Bubby. Carolina Allspice. Sweet Bubby to Southerners. Also Calycanthus. You're going to get complicated. And here's some Itea getting ready to bloom. And Black Dragon Cryptomeria on the pot. Cars keep going by. That project up there is this year's project. As you see, I got some things to do. Okay, starting to rain. Thanks. See you guys.